What's going on, guys? It's Caleb, and today I have another detail for you. It's a 1997 Ford Escort. Little different scenario though. This is actually my girlfriend's car. It's in need of a deep cleaning, so we're going to perform a full detail package on the exterior of it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive in. Now, these wheels are your typical late 90s, super shiny, flashy chrome wheels, and they show every single little piece of dirt there is. Nice part is, though, is that when they're clean, it looks extremely clean and attractive. We're using P&S Brake Buster as usual. I can't tell you guys how much I love this stuff. I'm super picky and OCD with the kind of stuff I actually use product-wise. And this stuff, you can dilute it, you can put it in a foamer, you can do anything you want with it, and it still destroys every piece of dirt. I highly recommend it. And as for how good it does, I mean, just look at the before and after that's coming up. It should speak for itself. Now, moving to the rinsing phase, whenever I get a car in for a detail, I always gauge the exterior on how dirty it is. If it's very dirty, like in this case, then I start with the pressure washer. If it's not very dirty, then I use the foam cannon. Now, if it's extremely astronomically dirty, then I will start with an actual foam cannon and make sure it's a certain kind of soap that'll really try to eat away at the dirt that's on the surface. In this case, though, started with the pressure washer, then I moved to the foam cannon. I'm using Adam's car shampoo, and if you see my recent videos, this stuff is just phenomenal. I love it because it's tried and true. It has a lot of lubricity to it, which is really important when you're washing a car, and it also foams extremely well for what it is, and it's pH neutral, won't affect any coatings. I'll link it down in the description if you want to know what it's all about. I've never really spoken on the topic of brushing. You see me do it in every single video because I do it in every single detail. I use a soft, delicate boar's hair brush to go through every single little nook and cranny and make sure every single piece of dirt, debris, whatever it may be, is out of those hard to get spots. Now, it's extremely important you know what kind of brush you're using. There's a lot of these wooden handle, red tipped brushes out there that are actually really tough and really hard to use. Hard to use in the sense of it's going to scratch your paint because it's really stiff. In this case, though, this one's really soft, delicate. I went through a couple different brands. I settled on this one because it's cheap and it's also really effective, especially in the gas cap area. It's really hard to get in those little spaces. This helps out a lot. that the car has been foamed down and brushed down on all the hard to get areas, we're going to go ahead and rinse it off before we move into hand washing. Now, speaking on the topic of hand washing, before I do any wash, I take my pressure washer in the bucket and I go ahead and activate the actual suds of the soap, and it's Adam's car shampoo, so it does a lot. And as you can see here, I'm actually using a microfiber towel to do the hand washing. Now, my little rule of thumb is if the car is over 20 years old, I use a microfiber towel for a nice, soft, delicate hand washing, because the condition of the paint could be anything, especially if it's over 20 years old. Who knows what the UV rays have done to it? Who knows what kind of car it is, if it's a 1-stage or 2-stage paint job? You never know, especially with an older vehicle. So I do use a microfiber towel, especially with this particular car shampoo. There's a lot of lubricity, I don't have to worry about anything. Starting from the top down as per usual and going in straight motions with the actual washing. This is a product that I love so much, and I want to speak a little bit about it because I use it on every single detail that is not receiving a paint correction or coating of any sort. Because this right here is Turtle Wax Seal and Shine Spray Paint Sealant. This stuff is amazing, especially for the price point. I mean, it's $6 to $12 depending on where you find it. And you spray it on the paint, you wipe it down very nice and clean, flip the towel and buff it out, and you have a synthetic paint sealant on your paint. Going to give it a beautiful gloss as well as a nice soft touch. And it lasts for months, like anywhere between 3 months to 6 months. I mean, honestly, for the price point, Even if the customer does not buy any kind of coating or wax, I still put this on their car because it's just a flawless finish, especially when you top it with P&S Bead Maker. Time to get these headlights restored, so I take Meguiar's correctioning compound and I put it on a microfiber applicator pad, and then I buff it in the headlights for about a minute or two, applying medium to heavy pressure or so. Want to make sure that you can actually get rid of all the oxidation that's on the headlight, and then I use their polish as well on a different applicator pad, buff that in for about another minute or two, medium to heavy pressure, wipe it away, spray it down with some CarPro eraser, and then I will end up putting Turtle Wax Seal and Shine on the headlights, and it's just a beautiful finish.
We are dreaming.